In the previous two videos, we installed the NVENC export plugin into Adobe Premiere. Then we also downloaded and unzipped some third-party utilities, MP4Box, NeroAAC, and TsMuxer. We aren't going to run these utilities ourselves. Instead, they're going to be used by NVENC export. So let's launch Adobe Premiere and configure NVENC export to use them. Now I already have a sample video project created, so I'll open that right now. And remember, NVENC export is an add-on plugin. That means it doesn't come with Adobe Premiere. So to access the NVENC export plugin, we'll go to Publish, Share, and Computer, and the plugin will be in the Others category. As you can see by my scrolling up and down, the Others category is midway from the bottom, so it's kind of easy to miss. Now, let's set up NVENC export to use the first third-party utility, NeroAAC. This one adds AAC audio support. So inside the export settings, click on the audio tab and change the audio format to AAC. Now you'll see that some new AAC settings appear. There's the path in this box, and there's also a button. Now the path is wrong, so we're going to fix it. So we're going to click on the Nero button that changed the path to a new location. Now, remember, the working directory on my system is NVENC export, external tools, and NeroAAC is in this subdirectory. And we want to make sure to pick NeroAACEnc. That's the encoder. Okay, so now that's set up. Moving on to the next two utilities, MP4Box and TsMuxer. Both of these are going to be configured the same way, and they're both in the multiplexer tab. So let's change the multiplexer type from its current setting to MP4. And now you see we have some additional settings specifically for MP4Box. Now let's set the path for MP4Box. And last but not least, TsMuxer. And for TsMuxer, make sure you pick just the bare TsMuxer, not the GUI. The GUI is if you were to run it standalone, which we are not. Okay, now let's go back and double check MP4Box is the correct setting. Okay, and AAC, that is also the correct setting. Now, we're done with all of these dialog changes, so we want to save this preset. So let's click OK. Actually, we should rename this to something helpful. And we'll call this AAC. And let's make the name something that we can remember. It's basically the same base name as the pre-installed preset, and I simply added this underscore AAC. You can pick whatever you can remember easily. Now once we're done with setting up this preset, the next time we export a video, we can simply reload this preset and all our settings will be there. We don't have to re-enter anything. So let's go ahead and run NVENC export and see what it does. Now, compared to the built-in H.264 encoder, that's my main concept, NVENC export is anywhere from roughly 2 to 4 times faster. It really depends on the complexity of your video, the resolution, and of course your PC's technical specs. In general, a slower PC will benefit more from hardware GPU encoding than a faster system. And as you can see, NVENC export is running the third-party utility, it's doing so by launching a shell session, so to speak. So we have to confirm that it's okay for NVENC export to run these tools. So click on the run button. Now, I'm a little paranoid about security, so I always confirm each time that dialog box comes up. But you can set it up so that you only have to confirm it once. Okay, so now that the export is finished, okay, let's check to see if our exported video was successful. And I stored the video in my documents directory. I believe it's this one. Okay, it looks like the video successfully exported. We have both sound and video, which is something we would not have been able to get if I'd simply run NVENC export without the use of the third-party utilities. Now, NVENC export with these utilities lets you write out MPEG-2 transport stream files or MPEG-4 files. And you have the choice of both wave audio and AAC audio. There is one restriction. If you pick the wave audio, you can't export to an MPEG-4 file. Okay, so thank you for joining us, and I hope you found these videos helpful.